Did you know how the 7 continents and 4 oceans were formed? It all started with one squirrel's obsession with an acorn. Thanks to him, we now have the world map as we know it. Everyone calls him the creation squirrel, because every little move he makes ends in some world-shattering consequence. All he ever wanted was to hide his acorn. After countless failures, he was being extra cautious this time. But somehow, he always managed to hit the Earth's most fragile spots. When he tried to patch up the planet's wounds, he'd instantly step on an even weaker spot. The ground split open beneath him, and he fell, along with his acorn. He tried to stop himself, but just like that, he plunged over 6,000 kilometers into the Earth's core. He crash-landed right on top of it, and the moment he hit the core with his acorn, it threw the planet's balance into chaos. The core shifted slightly, and the Earth's crust cracked open. He chased the acorn as he ran, splitting the surface right behind him. That's how the 7 continents and 4 oceans were created, by a squirrel in full sprint. Each time he got flung into the air, he crashed down and formed a new landmark. Then suddenly, his tail got tangled in the Earth's core. Still clutching the acorn tightly, his body stretched to the limit. The core spun in reverse, and it launched him straight into the ocean. The impact was so strong, it split an iceberg clean in half. He watched helplessly as the acorn drifted farther and farther away. Heartbroken, he floated to a small island on the waves. There, he found the skeleton of a squirrel, its finger pointing in a direction. He followed where it led, and spotted the acorn lying at the bottom of the sea. Grabbing a rock, he jumped in. The deeper he dove, the stronger the water pressure got. His nose and ears were squished flat. By the time he reached the seabed, he looked like an octopus. He yanked up the acorn, only to find it was an empty shell. But hidden inside was a treasure map, and on the map, every destination pointed to more acorns. He was thrilled. No matter how hard the journey, he was all in. He stepped across icebergs, and reached a fog-covered sea. This was the legendary territory of the sea sirens. One siren morphed into his first crush to lure him in, but his heart belonged to the acorn. He didn't even flinch. When he saw an acorn right in front of him, he leapt toward it without hesitation, only to find it was a siren in disguise. Furious, he was suddenly swarmed by a group of sea sirens who beat him up. Luckily, he was fast and managed to escape. After all the setbacks, he finally reached the treasure's location. The island looked exactly like a giant acorn. The squirrel chieftain there told him, this was the Acorn Maldives, a paradise every squirrel dreamed of. The island was covered in acorns. His eyes lit up like stars. He dashed toward his beloved prize. Right in the center of the plaza stood a massive acorn that mesmerized him. He couldn't resist. He ran up and tried to lift it. The chieftain shouted for him to stop, saying that pulling it out would cause disaster. But he couldn't help himself. He hugged it anyway, and in the very next second, the entire island was swallowed by the sea. It sank rapidly. Water poured into a massive hole, and just like that, the American continent was left high and dry.